Hello everybody and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn. I'm here with the fantastic Dale Bigeni, and we would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which we are creating and streaming from today, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. What's up, chat? Great to see you in there. And Dale, how have you been? It's been a while since we've had you on the stream. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got to do day by day, ladies and gentlemen, in these very strange times. We've got a really fun stream for you today, and we've got Johanna looking after us in chat. So thanks, Johanna, for doing that, sharing links and being all-around useful person, keeping us on track. Yeah, we got Steve in the chat as well. Hello, Nicola. Jessica T's in the house. Great to see you. That's super cool. Dale, can you just say something? Apparently your mic wasn't coming through. That's something on my side, I think. Check me out. Live streaming professional, ladies and gentlemen. Just got to bring this up. I know what I did. Here we go. Now you can hear Dale. Right.
Testing.
Yeah, there you are.
All right.
Thanks, Johanna, coming in handy already, straight out of the stream. But yeah, we back. So we have an exciting stream for today. Not only do Dale and I have quite a history with skateboarding. You can see some skateboards behind him. But last week, I did a stream creating a skateboarding brand. And Dale has very kindly agreed to pick that up, like from its kind of infancy, and we're going to create some skateboarding artwork off the back of that. So if you missed that one, you can check it out. But we're going to kind of do a bit of a recap and then start creating some stuff with you today. We're here for an hour, and ask us if you've got any questions, just throw them in chat. So Dale, can you give us like just a quick kind of overview of who you are and what you do, since it has been a little while since we've had you on the stream?
Yeah, sure. All right. So, well, obviously I'm a digital artist. I specialize in illustration mostly. I used to be a graphic designer a lot more, but I've evolved into just a digital artist. I do a lot of work for a mixed bag of brands. I just like to create in general, but at the moment I'm working on some really cool pieces, and it's keeping me busy through this COVID period, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful, and I've got a real passion for all things kind of art related, but also skate related. You know, I like all 30-plus-year-olds, I used to skate at one point in my life and never went pro, so I just decided I'd keep drawing, and here we are.
Yeah, the band didn't work out, and the professional skateboarding career didn't work out for me either. So, but that's okay.
Oh well, we'll take what we can get, Flynn. I'm pretty easy like that.
Yeah, that's it. I tried to do I was telling Dale in the lead up to this, I tried to do a ollie because I go skateboarding with my daughter, fully hurt not in a bad way, but just jarred my knee for like 2 days. And it's winter here, and I could just feel it. Like when I woke up in the morning, I'm like, yeah, this is something for the past.
Yeah, there's too much at risk now. It's I've been talking about getting a new board for the longest time, and also I'm kind of like at a point where I'd rather go into a shop, and I can't at the moment. So it's hard to really hone in on what I want. So let's just create a skateboard and play it safe, Flynn. Let's no tricks.
I'm likely to hurt myself or fall out of my chair here. All right, should we jump over? We're going to jump over to your screen now, and then you have, a more or less kind of fleshed out like logo that we kind of put together a little bit last week. I just realized the skateboarding doesn't line up with the Halcom font there, but whatever. That's my fault. We've got a bit of a color palette, which you can choose to use or not as well. So this is kind of like put together as, the beginning of the branding of, what the logo would officially kind of look like. But what's really cool about skateboarding is that like artists will interpret, pick up from there and kind of expand on it, which is, I don't know if it's unique to skateboarding, but it's definitely like a very, it's punk, right? Like it comes from this anti-establishment perspective. So not having rigid brand guidelines is probably a good thing.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I don't know if it's owned by skateboarding entirely, but I know that they're the one industry that does it a lot. Like, obviously, like working in the graphic design sector, you see a lot of guidelines and things like that over time. And, it can be really frustrating. But I wonder how brand guidelines get set out for a skateboard design. Like, do they just say an illustrator, hey, here's our Talon logo, do what you want with it, like just make sure we can still read it as Talon. So I think that's kind of cool. But let's have a look at a few examples of what we're kind of talking about, right?
Nice, let's do it. And also just checking in the chat, Eugene Diana said, I miss you, mate. So I don't know if that's someone that you know. Well.
I miss you too.
Zach saying Dale's work is amazing. Nicholas saying facts, one of the best. Wow. And Nicholas says beautiful color palette. Thanks. We went through that last week and used Adobe Color for that one.
And it looks pretty good. It's a solid logo, Flynn. So well done. I'm gonna destroy it today.
Yes, please do.
So I guess these are just some examples of like what we're kind of talking about. And I mean, you can see overall, like I've only got a handful, but like let's use the bottom row for our first point, right? So the left logo is the Element logo in its probably purest, I guess. Can we say that? Like that's what it truly looks like. But you can see like this artist series has gone in with like this hand-drawn logo. Then the BAM deck got this special treatment. I think it's kind of cool that it does lend itself to the artwork, because if you were just chucking in a straight logo on maybe the middle three, maybe it won't bring the whole piece to life. Maybe it does something to it that destroys it. I'm not saying it does. I also don't know what the briefs are for any of these boards. Let me make that very clear. So I just assume that they let these guys, take the wheel, like in every sense of the word. Like the mystery boards, Mystery's logo is the heart with the I guess the lightning bolt or the S, whatever you want to call it. But all four of those boards have like mistreated the logo, but done it in such a way that it's made it a one cohesive design. I think it's just crazy when you look at how skateboarding works versus what as a designer. I guess it goes against a lot of what brand guidelines tell you to do and like guardrails that they put in place. But like distorting the Dark Star helmet is crazy. Like I think it's crazy, but it's skateboarding. What part of skateboarding is not crazy? Like from design to execution of a trick, it's like a wild, I don't know, it's always been something that I've been really like interested in. And I love the fact that they do let artists work like this. You can see the 4 Dark Star boards on the right, like they've got that, thrashy hand-drawn font, but they've also added it to the helmet a little bit. So it's kind of cool. I think it's a good example of how like one brand can look completely different. So those, 4, 5, 6, 7 boards at the top are all Dark Star, but they feel like they're owned by one artist in particular. So I think that's kind of cool. But so it looks like I'm talking from I guess an outside point of view, but I'm just assuming that it's a pretty loose brief where they kind of tell them what they want and the artists just go for it. And if the logo doesn't sit right, they've probably got every right to change it. So we're going to do something a little bit like that, I guess. We're just going to take this, your Talon logo, and we're going to try to create a board horizontally, vertically. I'm not sure. Vertically is pretty cool because it's, you can hang it if you don't want to ride it. I'm 36. It hurts to ride, but it looks good on the wall.
It hurts to ride. That can be our tagline
Yeah.
on the board.
All right. So, well, firstly, now we've got kind of like I guess some inspiration, and kind of we can look at how boards can be treated overall. I guess we can just like, what I would do is I've got this little like a template, and like, so this template's got like the bleed lines and the safe lines and things like that, so we know where images would get cropped, I guess, if the trucks go on. But like I said, these are the skateboards lately are like artworks, right? Some people are collecting them just for the pure like wow factor. So we're just gonna use it as our guideline. But it's nice to know, like, because the skateboard does have that curl on the edge, like there are parts of the print that won't obviously print right hard up to the edge. So it's nice to know where that stuff like is gonna get distorted. So I guess we're just gonna grab the Talon logo. Now, Flynn, do you have a choice of which one you want me to like just destroy and just do my own thing with?
Yep. I mean, I would say, yeah, like I'd probably not include the skateboarding, like the flat one. Like it's really just the logo. Like whether you want to, use the one on the right there that has the kind of descender with the skateboard locked in it, you could use that. You could just use the straight up TALON and pull it without the descender in there. It's up to you.
Yeah, all right. So Flynn and I decided he's going to be the client today, and we're going to work through this brief from scratch and see what we can come up with. If you guys have any ideas of what you think might be on the board, shoot them over. I'll try my best to keep up with any ideas you might have.
Nice.
And then, all right, so I think I'm going to need another version of the deck. No, you know what? Let's just leave it horizontally, because I think I've got this one idea that I think is kind of could be cool if we take this Talon logo. I've always been a fan of like the big typography on boards, like, it's always like, you used to see guys doing flip tricks, and if you were ever curious about what they were writing, if it was a big, huge print on the bottom, it was really hard to miss. So really not hard to miss out.
Yeah. So there's a question from chat. What's the size of the skate artwork?
Oh, like actual centimeters and millimeters, I couldn't tell you. What I'm working on is just on we're just going to do it on an A3 sheet, but you would definitely want to know what the board dimensions are, or what the boards come in all different shapes and sizes. So I guess that would be a question you'd want to get from the start, like cleared, because I think it ranges from like mini boards to like full size adult, and I couldn't tell you the exact measurements, not right now.
Yeah, and sometimes the lips are a little bit different. Like sometimes they're kind of perfect curves, and sometimes they have a little bit of a different like lip on the back or the front, depending on the type. Well,
the 80s decks were like a whale board. It was like a weird shape, so like that they were designed different. But we're just going to go for the generic 2021 version here. So I was thinking maybe we could do. I'm just fixing up my layers here.
Yeah, and if you guys have suggestions in chat as well, we're talking about the taglines. So if you have any taglines for us, feel free to throw them in.
Over. All right, so sorry, I just realized how far I have to lean across to get to the toolbar. So I'm just going to move it across.
Oh yeah, because you're working from your like giant screen that's as big as a TV, right?
Yeah, and it's like a little bit like it is a stretch, like that was a whole arm and lean there, so it's a bit awkward. So let me just put those tools over here. All right, so I'm just gonna rough in. Like I had an idea of having like maybe some of this like stuff could be cut, so we can have parts of your logo in here. So and maybe this end part will be. So I'm thinking maybe we'll like have. Either we can put the original logo running into parts of this, so maybe this part and this part will remain the original font that you created, and then maybe we can either redraw these fonts into something else or do something with it to make it like different. And then down here we can have like, maybe we'll just chuck in your little master logo.
Yeah, cool.
So we're just gonna change this already.
That's cool. So you're kind of like mashing it up in different sort of sections. So it's like a little bit of legibility and then it's a little bit of stylistic kind of stuff thrown in.
And then maybe, I guess we can even have some like, you know, and if we're drawing in this part, so this would be like, let's call this brand and brand. Then maybe this can be like the illustrative part. I'm just going to try to incorporate a bit of type and a bit of illustration here. So maybe that's our my little guide. So I've got like this is my skeleton, I guess. This is how I would address it. So I know that like maybe up here we'll have something. This could be illo as well. And this is hero logo.
Nice.
I think it's like important to have a plan. Like it's always, obviously, like starting rough is always the way to go. But if we can just keep everything as neat as possible and you know, have a plan from the start, then it's going to make it like much easier. So I'm just going to put these as my guides.
And just checking with chat. I was lost for a little bit, Kendall, with your comment. I vote for a little mini board with the fingers. I was like, what?
Like a tech deck?
Like a tech deck, yeah.
Yeah.
And remember when those were a thing? Did you have a tech deck?
I've got a whole bunch of them. I think I even had like a little box full of like spare trucks and wheels. Like,
oh wow,
why was I ever going to need that? But funnily enough, it pops up in my Instagram feed a lot at the moment. Like,
right.
dudes that are shredding on these tech decks like it's an actual art. Anyway, I think I'm just getting too old. I can't keep up. All right, I'm gonna just start putting in some. So this is, I guess, this today's drawing will kind of just be fleshing out this little idea. So I'm going to have these tear layers. And I don't know how, this has just become something that people are requesting of me now. Like, you know, you do something enough that people just like think that's what you do all the time. So just...
Right.
So we're going to have these. You could do a tear, you could just do a straight cut if you wanted to, but this kind of gives it some dimension anyway. So I'm just drawing this. I'm using a rougher brush, just like I think it's one of the True Grit ones, but it's just got a little bit more of like a rough edge, like a pencil. I don't know if you can, how that's coming through on your screen, Flynn.
Yeah, it's I mean, you can see it a lot easier now, but you can see the texture in it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the feel of it. Like it kind of feels more like a pencil, I guess. And
I had a question from chat just about what you're working on. Are you working on a Cintiq or a Surface Studio?
No, this is a Cintiq Pro, the 32-inch.
32-inch. It's bigger than my monitors.
Yeah, it's massive, but I've got the desk space for it, so it doesn't look huge in the room. It's just like, I mean, if you go to my Instagram, I think there's a couple of photos where you can see the actual the size of the thing. It's intimidating, but it makes the workflow really, like, you know, it does help a lot.
That's awesome.
So I've got my cut lines in. I know this is going to be. Oops. I have a tendency lately to not zoom in when I'm working. Is that weird? Yeah, I just probably I'd hate to say any of the print jobs when all those lines don't add up. I mean, like, conceptually. Sorry.
I know. I've got a question for you. As you're doing this perfectly diagonal line, I know how to do the straight lines and vertical lines, but how'd you get the 45-degree angle?
Flynn, I'm not even. I'm just. I think it's just I'm just tracing it. There's no trick. I'm holding shift on definitely for these ones.
Yeah.
To do those, but the 45, I think I'm just getting lucky.
Damn.
So I'm glad you
okay.
know. I'm glad you noticed. Thanks.
I did. I thought you had a magic button there that I wasn't aware of that was giving you perfect 45-degree angles.
Nah, not quite. I wish.
Wow. Just practice, huh?
Yeah, spend enough time alone in the studio just practicing my 45s. Told you, times have changed. You used to go out skating. Nah, not anymore. Alright, so now I feel like real conscious about it too.
Yeah, now I'm like really watching. I'm like, wow. Okay, cool.
They're all pretty good. I'll give myself a gold star, I reckon.
Yeah, that's great.
Alright, so I've got my... So unfortunately, there's only a portion. I probably should have given you a bit more of the Talon brand, but we are going to get the hero over here. So
yeah, no,
like,
go
we'll have that in there. But yeah, so I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe this could be like made up out of like bones or something. Like maybe it's just like completely different to how, I guess, straight the brand is at the moment. Like maybe it could have like even, you know, it could have like a skeleton hand coming out here. Or something like that.
It's like conceptual part where you're like looking at like the composition of what's happening here and thinking about what like yeah.
Kind of what we hope to expect to see, but like I said, today will be mostly conceptual, just because, you know, this stuff takes time.
Yeah, I mean, this is my favorite. This is my favorite part, like the conceptualization kind of part, like thinking what can we do, because there's so much you can do, so you have to kind of narrow it down.
Yeah, and you just kind of like, oh man, you'd have layers upon layers of this stuff, like, you know, of just ideas back and forth. But I'm not even going to redraw this. I'm just going to take this hand. Maybe it'll be cool if there's two. Oh, I didn't lock my layout.
And just checking with chat, like, what about you guys? Anybody out there like also and like ex skateboarder, or do you currently skate?
Do you want to start skating? Like,
you want to start?
Now's the time. It's you're allowed out for fitness, and it's pretty good fitness.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the skateboarding video, like not a DVD, like video cassette that I used to have. I just had a quick Google. It was like 411 skateboarding, and it used to teach you like, here's how you ollie, here's how you do a kickflip.
It was the best. It was like it had the pro skater profiles and stuff, and then it have some cool like little intermission stuff. And I think, oh man, I remember collecting it. It was way back down at like the teens to 20s, but I think it got all the way to maybe 40. I don't know. It was, but yeah, old school VHS. It was the business. Yeah. Sorry, I just like having a moment. Okay. So we can either do something like this. Sorry, I just started it.
Got a couple of comments. So ex-skater here. This is Johanna, currently trying to get into roller skating. Nice.
Oh, this is a thing, right? Like there's a lot of roller skating on Instagram at the moment. I don't know why it pops up on my feed. Maybe I watched one and Instagram just assumed that's what I want to see. But I see a lot of it, and it's like, what is this actually happening? Like roller skating. Johanna, you want to confirm?
Yeah, I've seen it a lot more. I saw some people like at the local park, like just skating around in circles, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I went the next time and I saw a different group of people doing it. So yeah.
Right. Hey, each their own.
Exactly. Zach and Jack tried it, didn't work. Fair enough. Michael,
roller skating?
Skateboarding.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It was a phase that's come and gone, Michael.
Oh,
like for them? Yeah.
Okay.
Nicola, the only skating I do is in Tony Hawk games. I actually really want to get that. I know it's a bit old now, but really want to get that remastered version of Tony Hawk. Spent a lot of hours in that game.
Yeah, and you don't get hurt again, so like that's
exactly.
It's an easier way to
better in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just this is subject to change. Like I'm just roughing anything out right now. But I feel like maybe some of this could be cool. You know, I want to stay true to my brand of like doing a lot of skulls.
Yeah, Nicola in chat. Yeah, there's a new one, the new Tony Hawk game. I know, that's exactly what I want. I haven't been able to justify it. Got to be careful for my game consumption to balance it with my work and family requirements. It was a day where I would have been like, cool, I'll take 2 days off and play the new game that came out. But those days are gone.
Yeah, it's few and far between. I try to play it as much as I can.
That's it. Got a question from chat for you, Dale. Are you constantly on the lookout for new brushes, or do you just have one set that you rely on? And what brush set are you using now?
So this one that I'm using now is, I think it's called Rusty Nib from, you probably can't read it here, it's probably really small, but it's from True Grit Texture Supply. It's called the Rusty Nib.
Nice.
And to be honest, I don't really go on the lookout for them. I like the range on their website, but I also think that you can the quality ones which are free and like available for like everyone as soon as you got the cloud. I think that I think that's all you need really. I think there's not much more you can get. Like, how many brushes do you need, if you know what I mean? It's but yeah, Kyle does really good ones, and I think he puts a lot in the pack, if you know what I mean. Like, you get a lot of bang for buck on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment, this one's like I said, this is just, I'm using the same brush. Sorry, the True Grit one at the moment.
Nice. It's really cool. Yeah, I think like our experience with like illustrators that come on Adobe Live is they tend to have like one or two kind of real kind of go-to brushes. Like, this is kind of the sketching brush. Like, you know, this is the sketching kind of brush that they'll use, and they're really used to it. They like the way it works and feels, and they've kind of used it enough over time that it does what it needs, like they need it to do. Yeah. And then, you know, they might, depending on the type of style of artwork and stuff, they might have different brushes for outlines or, you know, coloring or shading and things like that.
I tend to be quite honest, the number one brush that I use, and I kid you not, is it's in general, it's the hard round pressure size. Like that's like the ultimate in brushes, I guess. Like, for me, it just does everything I need it to without having to like go looking for the right thing, if you know what I mean. Like, sure, you can go find them on websites and stuff, but usually I'm just looking at how other artists work and kind of what they're using, and maybe I'll give it a go, maybe I won't. But yeah, I just like the finish of this brush on the True Grit one.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this is fine. We've got a bit of skeleton action, so you know there's going to be a skull back here.
It's got to be.
There's just got to be. Unless, like I meant, we did ask chat, but chat's just they're chilling, so we're just going to do this. We're going to do our own thing.
Still blown away by those 45-degree angles you did.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just starting the 45 Degrees by Dale Instagram page.
Yes.
Just show it off like every day, some new angles.
Just every tile on Instagram is just a perfect diagonal like line.
I didn't even think about it, Flynn. Like, you caught me off guard.
It was so smooth. I just thought, yeah, man, he knows something I don't for sure. I mean, you know a lot I don't, but yeah, I thought that was one I could use.
Don't get me wrong. If I had something for you, I'd let you know.
What's up, new people in chat? We've got a bunch of new people in here, so I'll sort of reiterate what we're doing. We're hanging out with Dale Bigeni. We're about halfway through. We've got about another half an hour to go. And we are doing a skate deck. So Dale has picked up from a logo and a bit of a brand direction from previous stream last week, and applying it to a skate deck. It could be a tech deck. We discussed previously. It could be a real deck. It could be an artwork that someone wants to use. Someone could stick some trucks in here and start shredding. But that's what we're up to. And if you're new to the stream, feel free to ask questions if you have them in chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. And hello, Nick's from Mexico. That's super cool. We're both in Sydney, Australia. Hi, Ryan. Good to have you. Hanging out. So this skull's taking shape. I took a look down at chat, and then I looked up, and now this skull's happening. So, I mean, you draw a lot of skulls, right? Like how, like, it was interesting with the contour lines that you've thrown in. Is this always your approach to it? Like kind of doing the shape of the skull and then lines across to get everything right?
Yeah, I think the lines are there rough as a guide. Like, I kind of know, like, I think I've done them, yeah, like you said, quite a lot, that it kind of comes natural, and I just know what direction I want them sitting in, or like, you know, the angles I want them on, and then I just go in for it. But like at the bottom, I know that there's obviously a jaw, and I know there's going to be like a jaw line. I don't know, it's hard when you try to explain things that you do all the time. I think we just spoke about this. You kind of just do it, and I forget to tell people what's happening. And it's not because I'm trying to keep anything a secret. I just think you just get so used to doing it on your own and like at your own speed that I don't slow down to explain or consider those things. But yeah, it's just basic shapes to kind of, like, you know, just reassure me I'm drawing in the right direction and things like that. And I don't know, it's hard when you've done them for so long. I forget why I'm doing certain parts. I'm just like completely in the zone. And but I also I still use this trick a lot. I still use the symmetry tool a lot on a lot of my artworks, just because it generally, like, it requires it. I might do like another cell here.
Yeah, wow. Symmetry tool's not that old when you're saying you still use it. It's been around for a couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty, I reckon it's at least 3 years at least.
I think it was hidden for a while. I think it was hidden for a while.
Yeah, you had to like unlock, like, or not unlock, it wasn't like you had to do a set amount of artworks and then unlock like a special character. It was like it was hidden in like a preference thing, and it was like, why are you hiding this? It's like it's actually amazing. Like it just, like, well, like you can see it right now. I'm drawing half. Like half the job's done for me. Like, they put these tools there to speed up workflow, not to make anyone look like they're cheating, or, you know, you know, they should put that on and I think a lot of people, maybe they noticed that it was hidden, and then all of a sudden it was just there, right? Like, it was everyone knew how to get to it. Yeah, so let's so I'm being really rough. Like, I definitely am being really rough, but yeah, that's another skull there. So that's awesome. And then I can just switch it off, and obviously, like, over the process it starts getting a lot neater. But like, you know, we're just trying to get a good idea of what's going on. So I think we're having a bit of a technical issue here. It's not letting me grab my Photoshop. Yeah. Oh no, it was user error. I take it back. Okay, so I'm just going to move this skull over so we've got a bit more of him.
Yeah, I think Johanna's just mentioned in chat, I think we have a Discord, in our Discord, we have a chat dedicated entirely to skulls because they're so much fun to draw.
You would think I'd be in there every day. I don't want people to get bored of me. All right, so we got a little bit of a skull there. I think this guy can have a bit of body as well. He deserves it.
He deserves it. That's awesome. The little X's on the, like, where the joints are, is that like kind of like straps kind of to hold the skellies together?
Yeah, I might use it. I might not. It's just like, you just have to wait and see. You just never know with me. I just, overnight, they'll just disappear and you'll be like, so what about those straps you put on there? Nah, I didn't like them.
Yeah.
Just going to jump into Illustrator and grab. What a contrast of design here, Flynn. You've got this beautifully laid out Talon lock-up and color palette, and I've just got this mess on the other side of the world in Photoshop.
That's what we want.
There you go. There it is. All right, so I think I'm going to change the... I'm going to put the Talon skateboarding on the top instead, because now there's a skull there.
Makes sense.
And this is this board's for riding or hanging, so it's playing. The logo is right side, so if you want to hang it on the wall, and the graphic is for if you want to ride and just show off that big Talon.
Nice. So we got the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And what else can we get in here? Does chat want to throw in some suggestions of what else we can add in here?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know, or otherwise, there's always room for maybe we can add some of this.
What are some examples? Like we've got our skulls in there. If they wanted to throw something in, feel free to freestyle chat. But
yeah, let's talk about how we can fill some of the space. Like it could just be a flat color, maybe that would look cool, or maybe we can have this, we can do this vine thing, thorns and stuff. It's feeling very what's the word? It's feeling a little bit rough and rugged. We've got skulls and we've got the bones, type and stuff. Maybe we can do some of this.
Well, I know that the original branding and stuff kind of had a little bit to do with, didn't really come out so much in the logo, but with owls, like Talon.
Okay.
So Talon, which we did our research in our branding episode, we discovered that talons are found on birds of prey.
Nice.
And not on non-birds of prey. So chickens, for example, don't have talons; they have claws. But hawks and owls and eagles have talons to get their lunch and
so maybe we got to get maybe we can have up in this space we can have sorry, I want to change the color for the different layer.
That's cool. I should be fair to chat and mention some of the things that have come through chat as well.
Oh yeah, do it.
So what do we got? We got snakes, roses, unicorns.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am down with both of those, snakes, roses. The unicorn might I don't want to downplay it, but that unicorn could be badass. So it's
could be cool. We've also got skulls and roses, always mix as well from Michael.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe an eagle. We got owl eyes. Falcons are cool too. Yeah. So there we go. A bunch of suggestions from chat. Thanks, guys and girls.
All right, I'm just roughing in this flower here because I feel like with the thorns, maybe it makes sense to be there.
Where do you think the skulls and roses originated from? What's the birthplace of this?
I don't know, but I reckon the early early rock, 90s rock and stuff really made it a thing. it feels like roses and like kind of skulls are always affiliated with like rock and roll. So let's just say like the birthplace of rock. But then like tattoos have always played a big like
tattoos
part
well.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like who gets to wear the crown? Like, I mean, Guns N' Roses did a pretty good job at making it very clear that like the you know the roses thing was a big part of their branding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm being a bit messy with these layers, but I know like ultimately all of these are my conceptual kind of layout. So I'm not too like, I can just box them up into a thing and write box them up into a folder and just call it concept lines for anyone that was out there judging, you know.
I was thinking before when you're talking about like unlocking like features in Photoshop, if that was a thing, I think like after one of the achievements would definitely be like after you like rename like a certain amount of layers, then you would unlock an achievement for sure.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'm really good, but I get so caught up in like the artwork that it kind of slows me down a little bit. So I just keep powering ahead. I think. Well, I was gonna put someone said a snake, and I was like, yeah, I think I want to do a snake. I think I want another flower here. This will be another flower here with some. So we've got a second stream to finish this, right? So rest assured, this is not the finished result, guys.
Yeah.
Just in case.
It's interesting. We were talking about, I think, Michael, you might have been responding to us before we were chatting about like where did the skulls and roses come from, and said Dia del Muerte.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the Day of the Dead, yeah. So
yeah,
it could be.
Like I said, I think there's probably a lot of people that will claim it as theirs, or sorry, not as theirs, but like will give us, you know, different answers. But I think it's definitely become like a big part of like alt culture, I guess. Like there's a lot of times in like that tattoo scene, music scene and things like that. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and draw, and it was like it just wasn't working then. Sorry.
That's cool, man.
I think like that alt culture has definitely taken ownership of it.
For sure.
I guess, you know, if maybe chat can come up with some, like, obviously like this part is brand and this part is brand, so it'll stick to kind of your colors, I guess, like the brand's colors. That will be another way of like, you know, letting the brand own a big part of it. But maybe they can come up with like, you know, some color combos for like the skulls and stuff. The roses, they don't have to be red. The skull doesn't have to be white. It can be any color. If you want to chuck some suggestions for us.
Sounds good. Let us know, chat. We'll collect a couple of colors. Are you getting to colors today, or we get to colors on Thursday?
That'll probably be Thursday, but at least we'll have that ready to go.
Yeah. All right. Throw in some colors that we should apply to this. We'll collect them and send them through as options for Dale.
Oh no, it's too busy there. I was going to put a snake. It's just too crazy on that side already. There's a lot going on. I think the snake will just come from here.
Got pink skulls. Grays. Black and yellow. I'm a big fan of black and yellow.
Black and yellow is probably my most favorite combination. I just think it's like, for many reasons, but it's just like it's become my go-to color.
And you created a lot of your artwork in black and white for quite a long time, didn't you?
Yeah, for the longest time, Flynn. I just but now I've just kind of like really, I don't know, really like, I guess, challenged myself as well to start doing more color. And I think I I don't know that like it was ever anything to be scared of for me. It was also always like I wanted to do black and white because I felt so strongly about being able to present an artwork with mood and feeling and like depth and contrast with black and white without having to rely on the color gods. And but for the longest time I was always not anti-color, but I was like, no, I can do it black and white. But now I'm like, I like black and white and like yellow and like, you know, I want to put these pops of color. Like I used to use red a lot, but I was finding it felt always like it was a little bit angry, like the black, white and red thing.
Right.
So yellow's become my safe place. It's like I don't know, it resonates like deeply with me for like for art, for just like things in life that are yellow that are just like it is beautiful. So we'll get maybe like the yellow background, kind of we can get like a desert thing going maybe, because everything feels a little bit dead and Jurassic, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yellow is my favorite color as well.
Yellow
great,
will make it.
Great color suggestions. Keep throwing them in. We're gonna collect them. We've got blue and orange. That's an interesting color combination. Thanks, Gail. Festus is saying angry wasp with black and yellow colors.
Okay.
Yeah, I get bumblebee from black and yellow, but yeah, I think wasp is probably more on brand with what we're happening here. Blue roses from Jane. Thanks, Jane. And then yeah. No, that's cool. So I will mention, yeah, we've got a little bit less than 10 minutes left. We'll be picking up where we leave off as far as we get today on Thursday. So it's 12 p.m, middle of the day, bit of a lunchtime stream for us here in Sydney, but wherever you are, it's at the same time. And so we hope you can join us for that. And we're going to pick up some of your color suggestions. Alex Lahore's in chat. What's up, Alex?
Hey.
Red and purple.
They're all good ideas, and they will all be considered. Next minute, you're just going to see black and white.
Just all the colors.
Yeah, it's just going to be black and white, guys. Sorry, I lied. I feel like we need to get the owl in there.
We could do a sneaky shout out that we're chatting with our good friend Alex Lahore's in chat as well about coming on and showing his art style as well.
That's a must watch. Alex is a good guy.
So what's this that we're drawing here?
Oh,
well, you're drawing, I'm watching, and
we're going to try to get the owl in. So I want
Nice.
the owl in here, but then I think it's going to have like some sort of background down here. So I'm thinking to get this yellow in, I'm thinking like kind of like yellow skies and like kind of like yellows and oranges. And then maybe like some of that like kind of mountainous kind of thing. Because it feels like very, with all the bones and things like that, it feels very kind of Jurassic, and like it needs to feel like dark and kind of time specific. Sorry, I was just looking at this last bit over here and trying to work out what's going to go there. It needs a bit more of this, but I'm running out of time.
it's interesting that you've done the different like elements in different colors, like blue lines. You've kind of changed the color. Is that something that you do a lot? Like when you're adding different like elements to something that's like, I'm not saying it's busy, but it's obviously there's a lot of overlapping of elements happening here. So is that?
Yeah, I think it's just so that I can see that there's a difference. Because if it was all blue, it would start to kind of like muddle up and like it does get confusing. I don't know, maybe everyone thinks this looks confusing, but I can clearly see what I'm trying to like get to. So I definitely think it's in a good place that I can start refining that and you know, go straight to color from there. But yeah, I feel like it's in a pretty good spot. Like, you know, we followed the plan. I know I haven't touched these parts. Like I haven't done anything in here. Like I've left it true to brand. This will stay clean because it has to, because it's the brand itself. But I guess we spoke about it can go both ways. You can play with the logo or play with the artwork with the logo as a whole. So I think we're kind of addressing both sides of the spectrum. So yeah, I think it's in a pretty good spot to start doing some refined lines and stuff. But I think you'll have to stay tuned.
Nice cliffhanger there. So you're just color picking that outline to add to it?
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. So just a couple of minutes left, guys. If you have any questions or anything while we're finishing up for today, throw them in chat. But yeah, it's been great hanging out with you. Chat's been great today. Lots of new faces as well, which has been great. So thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you're inspired to go skateboarding. And please don't hurt yourself on our account.
Yes. Please be safe.
Please be safe. The height of my skateboarding career, I was skateboarding to work every day when I was working with Mentally Friendly.
Oh, really?
And that was fun.
See, that's the stuff you can't do. Well, especially not now. You ain't going anywhere. Just skate to your letterbox. All right, so I can present this to client Flynn. So can you review this overnight, thanks, and we'll get to refining.
Yeah, I'm giving you a tight deadline of doing this all in an hour. I'll get back to you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Classic client. Yeah, cool. So I'm acting as a client. I'll check this out. Can you zoom in just a little bit more, just in the artwork, just so we can check it out as we kind of wrap up.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is super cool. I really love that you've done the different elements in different colors. I usually just see like outlines done as a single color, but I think it really helps with the collage kind of style.
Yeah, it does help it a little bit easier to see. And just to confirm, this is an owl. Okay.
It kind of looked like it had a bird with its head chopped off, but yeah.
I'm gonna have to probably reference a few things there, but yeah. So we've got our. I think it's ready. It's ready to go into refined.
Nice. It's really cool. Looking great. So yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks for joining us. Love where this is going. This is so exciting to see this kind of come to fruition. And as always, Dale, awesome hanging out with you. Thanks for reminiscing with me through skateboarding and making me feel excited.
Well, don't get too excited. Stay safe, Flynn.
I'll do my best. Thank you, chat. Again, great to hang out with you. Thanks for all the interactions. Stay safe out there, and we hope we can see you next week. See you later.